Wait, was that 5 things? Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah. Wow. Yes.
Girl, you know I can't do too many things at once.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Talk Uncensored with Jojo and Britt. This is season 2, and we are so excited to be back with a new season. We have so much in store for you guys. And we also want to kind of like reintroduce ourselves for new listeners. So again, my name is Brittany, also known as Alex Bree on Instagram and Twitter. And I am a digital content creator based in the US Virgin Islands.
And I am Joyce, better known as Jojo, the CEO on Instagram. I am a blogger / entrepreneur. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, and we started this podcast back in 2020. When the pandemic started, we had started doing lives called Wind Down Wednesdays. So we would go live every Wednesday and we'd talk about a specific topic. So that's how the podcast was born, out of the lives that we did. So we are continuing this train. And what we're also going to introduce to you guys is a concept called the Wind Down series, which we recently added, which will be an extension of the podcast. So we'll do like mini series, kind of similar to the lives, because our lives were only like an hour long. So the mini series, Wind Down series will be maybe 20 to 30 minutes. We'll just kind of focus in on one specific topic. So if you guys have any ideas of things that you want us to talk about, let us know. And the Wind Down series will not only be available on like our podcast, it will also be available on our YouTube channel as well. Yes. So we're super excited about that. So today we are going to start off with an icebreaker. So this game is super fun. I want to shout out Kyra from Kicking It with Kyra. And we've been like super busy in the Clubhouse app playing games with like a few close of our friends. So she came up with this concept, or maybe she got it from someone else, but it's called 7 seconds, right? So how the game goes is you have 7 seconds to list 5 things within a particular category. So for example, let's say I give Joyce a category. I say, okay, Joyce, you have 7 seconds to list 5 things you find in a grocery store. So now Joyce has 7 seconds to list those 5 things. If she doesn't list 5 things within 7 seconds, then she does not get a point. If she does, then she will get a point. And then we'll see who ends up on top.
Yeah, and I am putting a disclaimer here. I have not played this game, so you have some experience on Clubhouse, but I'm excited. Let's do this.
I'm gonna set the timer too so that it's fair.
Okay.
So let's see, 7 seconds. I'm being fair, right? 7 seconds.
Okay.
So Joyce, you have 7 seconds to list 5 things in Baltimore.
Okay.
Go.
The Ravens Stadium, Camden Yards, my house, Morgan State University, and the Washington Monument thing.
You're too slow.
Wait, I didn't even hear it go.
Yes.
Oh my God, it must have been a delay.
So you had really good
oh my God, so
answers, but you just have to do it like really fast.
Okay. Okay. All right, so my turn. Okay, I'm gonna ask you. You ready?
Yeah. Okay, Beyonce.
Let's go get them. Okay, so 5 words that start with the letter X.
Wow. Xylophone, X-ray, xenophobia. I don't know.
All right.
That is not even fair.
Like starting off strong. So I think.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wait. Okay. So within 7 seconds, I want you to list 5 hair products.
Okay. Blue hair mask, argan oil, Moroccan oil, and. Wait a second. It goes by so fast.
Gotta be quicker. Gotta be quicker.
Okay. All right. Category is You got to list 5. Ready? So
Mhm.
when I say it, I'll press start.
Okay.
Okay. Authors.
Wow. I don't be reading.
Hey, 7 seconds is up.
Wow. Seriously?
Savage game. This is
That's
a savage
hard.
game.
So, list 5 high-end brands. Go.
Gucci, Prada, Fendi, Telfar, and Louboutins.
All right, you got it.
So list 5 things that you buy at Victoria's Secret.
Underwear, lingerie, bras, perfume, lotion. Right?
Wait, was that 5 things? Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah. Wow. Yes. That was
Girl,
fun.
you know I can't do too many things at once. I'm looking at the timer. I'm like, wait, you did it. So good.
Wow. All right, round 4.
My heart.
List 5 Solstice beauty products. Go.
Kamikaze lip gloss, Poppin' lip gloss, Mamacita liquid lipstick, Spice From, and Boss.
All right. All right, you got it.
All right. Name 5 Caribbean islands.
Martinique, St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix, Tortola. Yep. Easy peasy.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
that was fun. So we are now in 2021, right? And 2020 was just like a dumpster fire. But even coming into the new year, it still continued with the whole like thing on Capitol Hill.
Yep.
With that cult just coming in and just wreaking havoc. But despite with all that going on, I think we are to the point where we're gonna take like a pivot with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris now being our new president and vice president. I think things are gonna turn for the better. So with that being said, we want to start this off on a positive note. So we want to talk about really like the top 5 favorite things that happened in 2020. So some of our favorites we both have, like we both have it on our list. But my number 1 favorite thing, well, I guess not necessarily number 1. I guess it's just one of my favorites would be TikTok and Clubhouse. Like honestly, especially TikTok, like throughout the whole quarantine period, like TikTok has really like saved me. Like it has brought me so much joy. You know, people are like so creative and they come up with all these different videos and challenges. I mean, I feel like there were like a million challenges in 2020.
I know.
Via TikTok.
Yeah. So me and you have like 2 of the same things, and like TikTok was one of them as well. And like it's just it's like distracting, but in like a good way. Like
yes.
At the same time, like it's funny, it's creative, and like it's short, right? So like it's short enough where it's just like you're not like spending like, you know, like 5 minutes on one video or something like.
Right.
So
it's
the
quick.
content was great. And then like the same thing that you were saying, like so many challenges, I feel like by the time like we go back to normal, so maybe in like 5 years, like we'll all be like I feel like it will be funny because I feel like now there are certain songs that just remind me of TikTok. Like
yes.
And then there's certain challenges that it's like, oh, okay, like we haven't been able to go out to listen to like Savage the remix, right? With like Beyonce. So now I feel like everyone is gonna feel
right.
Savage.
Like all these TikTok dances, right?
Yeah.
So, and then in addition to TikTok, Clubhouse, which kind of like emerged like at the end of the year. So if you guys don't know what it is, it's kind of like you can create like separate chat rooms. It can be a public one or it can be a secret one, and you ping people in. There's moderators. You have an audience. You can bring people on stage to speak. But it like Clubhouse ranges from like topics about dating to like getting like psychological services on there. Like I've seen some really good ones.
Yeah.
where they brought like professionals to come and speak about a specific topic, like mental health, or like some of the ones that I'm in, like I do a lot of like participate in a lot of game nights and that type of stuff. So Clubhouse is kind of like similar to TikTok, where it's kind of like an escape, where
Yeah.
you can not only learn certain things or talk about different topics, but you just, have fun
Yeah.
in there. So that was like one of my favorite things in 2020. Another fave was the release of Black is King by Beyonce. I mean, the queen, like she just blessed us in 2020 with that production. And I'm sure you guys have seen it by now, but it's amazing. Like, and it's a classic. Like I can go back and watch it over and over, and there's things that I've missed,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I still listen to that album to this day. So that release was like huge for 2020.
And I think like even just like the emotions that like run through it from like beginning to end, like I just that like how she opens up that song, like still like to this day always makes me want to cry from like just feeling, right, like an emotion. And I feel like we definitely needed that. We definitely appreciated that art form. And in a time again where we were all at home and we were all kind of spending a lot of time, I appreciate it because it also like brought so much more creativity, right? Where like inspiration. So I'm just like, okay, cool. Like, there are a lot of stuff that we can do. And so just like keep pushing. So thank you, Queen.
Yes. So my next fave would be the show. It was a series, Little Fires Everywhere. I believe it's on Hulu, right?
Yeah.
So like Netflix and Hulu was another like escape for me too during quarantine.
Yeah.
So there were some really good releases, and Little Fires Everywhere was one of them. I think it was a book, right?
Yeah.
Originally, and then they made a movie out of it. Kerry Washington was one of the lead characters. Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah.
But it was a really powerful piece, I feel like.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't watched it, you need to, but it's pretty much like about this privileged family, and then like the parallels with another family, mother and daughter, who kind of was living, I don't want to say paycheck to paycheck, but kind of in a way. They would move a lot. She didn't really have a stable home, whereas the other family, the white, conservative family, all their kids went to private school and all that stuff, but their lives started to come together. But there were some really important messages within that series. So I think one of the best series I've watched on television in a long time.
It was really, really good.
Yeah.
Tiger King was up.
Oh my God. That could go in the dumpster.
So what's funny though is like I feel like the only reason why we all collectively as a society watched that was because that was like literally the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah, that's true.
And
it was utter chaos.
Oh my God. And it's like, yeah, like let's watch, it's fucking with like tigers, like why not?
Right.
So my third would be Versus. So like even and that came as a result of the the quarantine and the pandemic. And so once like Swiss and Tim, they started doing kind of head to head different genres. And so I feel like that just also like saved me from just not only boredom but just being excited for something.
Yeah.
Because there are some verses that are just like like.
So which one was your favorite versus?
Oh my God, that one's hard. I'm so mad that like Ashanti and Keisha
like I think they postponed it again.
Yes, they keep postponing it because I really I'm just like so excited about that one. That one is hard.
For me, it's Bounty Killer and Beanie Man.
I was gonna say that
was my favorite.
Fun. That one was so much fun. But I'm just such a huge Alicia Keys fan, and when she went with John Legend, it was different. It was just like
a different vibe.
Vibe, and just like appreciating just artistry, like
real music.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then like Gucci and Jeezy is like one of my
The Brandy and Monica was a hot one.
Yeah, literally like there's just like it was just amazing. Like they did such a great job, and I feel like they are like thanks to both of them, because like I said, you know,
Yeah.
keeping us entertained in different ways, and being creative as well. Like that's such a perfect idea.
Yeah. And another favorite of mine was, of course, the election results, because I could not stand another 4 years of Donald Trump. Like I would have, I don't even know. I'd have probably been depressed, to be honest.
You know what's funny is that like when we decided to do this episode, Britt,
Mm-hmm.
it was a couple days ago, and like literally
Yeah.
this week the insurrection happened, and we're just like, what the fuck, you know?
Right.
But the hope of, not even like the, what gives me hope is what you just said. Like at the end of the
Yes.
day, you know, this is coming to an end, and
Mm-hmm.
thankfully that, you know, thankfully America showed out. So
Yes. Yes.
and shout out to Georgia.
Right. Yes. Y'all the real MVP.
Yeah, yeah, because that. Yeah, all eyes were on Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, my one of my favorite things that happened last year was my brother got married. So
Woo-hoo.
that was super exciting. You know, I think just in the middle of a pandemic, like I think we saw like a lot of people either like, you know, postponing things or just like going
Mm-hmm.
for it. So it was super, super nice, like just getting like, I want to say a break, because I also got off like social media for a little bit just to kind of be present and like be fully
Right.
with them, with my brother and my sister-in-law and her family. So it was just super nice, and I feel like it was a perfect way to end a year, spend quality time with family, which I feel like after last year, that is like just, I'm so grateful that I am able to do that. I don't take anything for
Yes.
granted, and if there's anything that 2020 taught us is that life is really short, and you know, just like enjoying and being present in those moments, that was amazing.
Yes. And then the last thing on my list is our podcast launch, of course.
Yes.
So yeah, this is our little baby, and I'm so glad that we finally got to the point where we felt confident enough to just go and pursue this pet project. So that, I think that was one of my, like, that was my ultimate favorite thing of 2020, was that we launched this podcast. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
also on my list. Like I feel like in a way, a lot of the stuff like that I was doing, like I want to say like on my, aside from my 9 to 5, right, was like working on Solstice Beauty with like the In Style magazine for like Latino Heritage Month. That was like I had gone live with E Style Collective, and then just like being on Rachel Ray, like, and then at the same time like starting and keeping up, right, with this podcast, because it has been a lot of work, but it's been like really good work. And I think not only that, I'm just like so grateful for our friendship, for the fact that we get to
Yes.
be together. And it has also just like saved me as well, because I know for myself, especially with the pandemic, like I mean, I'm home alone, right? So
Right.
connecting and like staying connected with people has been super important. And the fact that like this podcast, this platform has given us a chance to stay connected with others, right, and still meet new people, right? So like, you
Right.
know, when we had Julian and
Oh, and Julius.
yeah,
Yeah.
Julian and Julius, like I've never like met them in real life. So it was just, again, so nice to be able to connect with people.
Right.
And so I just think that this has been super amazing, but it's been a blessing. And I really, you know, when we were thinking about this, like we want to set the tone for 2021, because so much has happened and is going to keep happening. I feel like 2020 was, like we said, it was a disaster. But
Yeah.
I think it's important to, I don't know, like look at the good, right?
Yes.
It's not always going to be all bad.
Right. Right. Nothing lasts forever, you know?
Yeah.
So I guess for the new year, I feel like my whole I mean, I guess to begin with, I never really did like New Year's resolutions and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of like on a periodic basis set goals for myself, you know? So for when 2021 came around, I feel like a lot of people felt like, oh, well, 2020 is over. We're going to start a new chapter. Like Corona's no more. Like that's behind us. But it's like, not really. I mean, it is in the past. Like whatever happened, happened. But we can't go into 2021 thinking like it's over, like all of this is done. Like, yes, that's over with, but life is still happening. And not to be pessimistic, but it's not that nothing bad is going to happen for 2021 because it's a new year, you know? But I do think what is important to do for the new year is to set intentions. So you have to set intentions for the new year, because I feel like a lot of times when people set resolutions, like they say these things, but they don't necessarily follow through with it. Whether they want to lose weight or they want to keep in touch with family or whatnot. But if you set like actual intentions, that means you're gonna like set your goals. You're gonna actually lay out objectives to achieve those goals, and like be actively pursuing them. So I think that's what we're like aiming for, is to set intentions for the year, for the podcast, and then for ourselves as well, for 2021.
Absolutely. And I think that, like, again, starting this year off has been different, like, because we just got out of a crazy year, right? So
Yep.
for me, it's been like, and I know I think like there was like a lot of memes that I was like laughing about, but I'm like, it's true. And it was like, everybody don't touch anything, like walk into the new year and like tiptoe, like don't break,
Right.
don't say that this is gonna be your year, like,
Right. Don't
like,
jinx it.
yeah, just like chill. And I do feel like to an extent, like, I get it, like it's funny. But at the same time as well, like it is a continuation. We are still we are still, let me be clear, because I think some people don't know that we're still under a global pandemic, right?
Yeah.
Or a pandemic, because the word itself means global, which just FYI. But so I think that, like, half of America thinks that it doesn't exist, and then the other half is like deadly scared. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think, starting off this year is being super aware of the circumstance. Like you said, like, be a realist, because, like, I always think, like, I'm not a pessimistic person, but I always look at the reality of the situation. The reality is that, yeah, we are still in a pandemic. We need to take care now more than ever. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to take care of those that we love. And we need to just continue to be smart. I know that's hard for some people, but like, but just like coming into this new year, like nothing has really changed. So don't get crazy,
Right. Right. Exactly.
just please don't get crazy. I love what you said, because like that has always been my thing of like setting intentions, because like you said, I don't do New Year's resolutions. I mean, it's kind of like whatever, like, but setting intentions, and then like setting your intention, and how you're going to go about it, right? So like, yeah, if you do want to get healthier this year, like set that intention, but then like you have to come up with a plan, right? Of
Right.
what it is that you're going to do, so that like you can really follow through on this stuff. And so, I mean, I think like maybe we should, if you're comfortable, if I'm comfortable with like sharing some intentions. So like, I do want to say this, like, I don't know if this is even an intention, but I usually have a phrase. You know how some people choose a word? Like,
Yeah.
I usually have a phrase. So last year, the phrase that I had chosen for myself was progress over perfection. And so I told myself that
Mm-hmm.
phrase all the time. And it really helped me. I mean, I think I told you too, even when we started this podcast, right? Like, it's not going to be perfect, and we can't let that stop us. So I really like last year, I really like, took those words to heart and would always remind myself, because it's like a nice reminder. So for
Mm-hmm.
2021, I have been praying, and I was like, okay, like, what is this? And this year, I feel like my intention and my phrase, and I'm sharing it because this is a safe space, is walking in my power.
Yes, love
So
it.
this year, you hear my nails? And I want to share it, especially like with those closest to me. So like, Brittany being my best friend, but it's like reminding ourselves to walk in our power, like walk with our like head held high, because although this year might test us again, like, nah, I'm going into this year and I am going to like walk in my power. So
Right. And I love that. And I think like with 2020, we kind of went in blindly, like I felt like it really like knocked us over. So now in 2021, like now we're prepared. Like now we know, like, yeah. Now we got our boxing gloves on, right? We got on our headgear and all that stuff, right? So we're a little more cautious, moving forward. So I love that whole thing about walking, in your power. There was a post that I came across, I think earlier this week, where it was saying like for this year, like I am gonna stop sleeping on myself, or like really like meet my potential. I'm not saying it word for word. I'm gonna have to post it again, but I had reshared it. I think that would be my slogan, for 2021 is to stop sleeping on myself. And I feel like I've been doing that. So it's like something similar to what you're saying about walking in your power and your truth. So that's really my slogan. I mean, I have a bunch of different goals, like specific goals, like financial goals and all of that stuff. But I think the overarching theme there is, to really,
I love that.
walk in the power and walk in your power and, living up to our potentials.
Yeah. So. I think that so like, see? And just for
we're
like,
aligned, right?
Yeah, just for the viewers and the listeners too. Like we hadn't shared this before. Like we're talking through it now. So it's always interesting. Like we're, in sync. And I think, I don't know, I've been feeling that a lot too. Like the people that I've talked to this year, I'm getting such good vibes with people like thinking outside the box, and like thinking about what is it that you want from life? What is it that you want from your professional life, right? From your financial goals, like those are questions, like you said, like I do have goals. I'm starting to set them where it's like, okay, cool. Like what do I envision, because we have a lot of power, our minds have a lot of power, what we say to ourselves, and just being like mindful of that is going to be super important. And we talked about this on our podcast last year, and it was interesting because I was having this conversation with a friend that I haven't spoken to in so long, and we were talking about just being kind to ourselves and how difficult that is. And I was like, yeah, like we have had such a hard time being super kind with oneself. And so this year especially, like I just want to continue like prioritizing me being kind to myself and like the way that I talk to myself, and just appreciate your mind, appreciate your health. That's one thing where I have been trying to do too, is like take care of my health, right? Like make sure that like what you're putting in your body, because I mean this is also showcasing, like a pandemic is showcasing our health and like the healthcare that we do and like the emphasis that we have. So I mean, just in general, like I think this year is going to be, it's going to, if you let it, could be really good for you into like internally, you know what I mean? I'm not going to speak on the state of of society or the nation world. I'm not going there, you know what I mean? But like I think like with what's within, I think it can be good. And so what are some of the things that like you're looking forward to this year?
And again, it's kind of hard because before the pandemic, like you had things that were planned out in terms of like travel or people you plan to meet up with and things to do and whatnot. But what I'm looking forward to the most is just really seeing my growth. So like I set my intentions now. So I'm just gonna be continuing to work on myself and try to accomplish my goals. So like by mid-year, I'm looking forward to seeing what I've accomplished, for that time period. So that's what I'm looking forward to the most. So
I love that.
Yeah.
I think for myself, like, one, I'm looking forward to, because girl, we both turned 30 this year.
Oh God, don't remind me.
It's a milestone. Like, I don't know why I'm like excited about it. I'm excited because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's a milestone. Like, do I feel like I'm getting older or I'm old? No, I don't. Like, this conversation, like, low key, we're still 20.
Right.
But I look forward to that just because I don't know. I mean, it's a milestone. That's all. I have a goal for myself too, which I'm not gonna share just yet for my 30th. I'm really looking forward to like my growth as well. Like, I love that you said that, because I think that that's the one thing that we all have control over, right?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what's going on outside of our immediate world. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm just like really excited to just keep growing within like my ideas and like my company and like this podcast. Like, we're already brainstorming for like season 3, and like it's going to
Yes.
be amazing.
Epic.
And so, I mean, just continuing that growth and like expanding. I feel like this year, I'm also most excited to see how I have fun this year, because as you
Yeah.
said, like, circumstance has like not like really, the circumstance is not really letting us do the normal stuff we would do. I love traveling. I wanted to travel so much. So that's like super fun. That brings me joy. So what I'm excited to like, all right, how am I going to like basically pivot from here and see like how can I have fun in a different way? Like, I can't
Right.
travel, but
Right.
and there are certain things too where I've like, like told my friend, like, all right, like maybe we'll just have to like drive to a cabin,
Yeah.
do
Right.
things that I normally like wouldn't really
That
like,
you wouldn't normally do.
I wouldn't
Right.
normally do that. So to that extent, that's what I'm excited for, is like learning how we're all going to stay connected and how we're still going to have fun, but just in a safe
Yes.
way, and just continue growing. Spiritually is like big on my list. Um, and also like I want to get back to like reading more, because
Yeah.
I read a good amount last year, but I can do so much better. So I really,
Yeah. Same.
I've started to as well. Like, I started to like just challenge myself to a chapter, like a chapter a day. And if I don't get to it one day, like at least, every other day, that's doable. So,
Right.
and sorry, because as it's coming on, like, I don't know about you, but even in my professional life, my job,
Yeah.
I've decided to back up a little bit with like when I like the pressure I put on myself to like get things done.
Yeah.
I'm making it easier this year. And it's not like I'm saying like I'm not gonna do
Mm-hmm.
work, but I'm gonna prioritize, I think I told you, like scheduling in walks,
Yes.
during
I've
the
been doing that. I've been taking, because like I think it's law that all employees are supposed to get like 15-minute breaks, like in the morning and then one in the afternoon. At least it is here in the territory, but like people don't usually do that. So I'm taking advantage of that and actually taking my breaks, because
that's
it's so
really
important.
good. Yeah.
But something you mentioned earlier um, takes me back to like having gratitude, like living in a state of gratitude, like you taking care of your health, because then that's you showing appreciation that you are healthy. So you're going to continue that by taking care of yourself, working out and all of that stuff.
Yes.
So I think that's what we want to end with is,
Yeah.
being gracious and having lots of gratitude um, for you guys as well. Like you guys have been rocking with us.
Yeah.
You've been listening. Like we've reached like I think more than 1,000 downloads after the first season. So we're just like super grateful for you guys. We're super grateful for each other, our friendship. Despite us being far away,
Yep.
we've still been able to maintain a strong friendship. So
Absolutely. No, even when I think about that, like gratitude is the most important thing like to practice. I think like I actually have bought a gratitude journal, because I mean, whatever works for everyone, but like I like to write, or I force myself to write,
Yeah.
and I have this gratitude journal. And so what I did was I put it right next to my workspace. So
Yeah.
I have a habit of like, once I wake up and like, do my morning routine,
Yeah.
I like run into my office. And so I started putting the gratitude journal like right in front. So like when I finish work, I like put it there so that the next morning I know that that's the first thing I need to do. So like I'll write stuff, and it's always funny because like I don't know about you, or like let me know how you practice, or let the viewers know like how you practice gratitude. But like for myself, every single time that like I am writing, or even just like if I decide to like meditate in the morning and that's like what I'm going through, I'm like, wow, like once you begin to practice gratitude, you realize how much you have to be grateful for.
Yes.
Because every
Yes.
time I'm writing, I'm like, oh my God, I don't have enough time to keep writing. I'm so grateful for
Right.
so much. Like
Yeah.
the mere fact, like, and I always like, not to sound like super deep, but just the mere fact that I can write,
Yeah.
that I have a journal,
Mm-hmm.
that I have this pen. Like, I know it
Yep.
sounds so like basic, but it's not, it's really
Right.
not. And like, I just always, when I get into those moods, I'm just like, wow, guys, there's so much to be grateful for.
Yes. And like I guess for me, it comes up when I get like negative thoughts. Like, damn, I don't want to go to work today. Like, I'm tired. And it's
Yeah.
like, girl, you have a job.
Yes,
It's
that
like that little voice in the back of my head is like, all right, girl, you are privileged, like you shouldn't be complaining. Not to say that you shouldn't complain ever. Everybody needs to vent. It's healthy to do that.
Yeah.
But sometimes we get too comfortable,
Yes.
but I often remind myself, like, like even something as simple as like, oh, I don't feel like getting up and cooking. But you have food in your fridge though. Other people are trying to find ways to eat every day, So it's
Yep.
just those little things.
Yes. I think it's so important for us to have this conversation too right now, because like I said, like the fact that we are still in a pandemic, like I sometimes like, and I don't want to sound like dramatic, but like sometimes it makes me want to cry. Like I can, like you just said, the fact that I can complain about that, like the fact that I'm
Yeah.
complaining about I don't want to do something, like so many people, especially right now, do not have the option. They don't
Right.
even have a choice. And like I think about especially like ways that like, just to give back, and like there's different stuff that you can do, whether it's like a food bank or donations, because
Right.
I just like think so much of with like the restaurant industry, which is like suffering a lot right now. And
Yeah.
I think about all this stuff, and like the majority of these people in these industries, like, and especially here, right, like Baltimore, DC, right, like my community is like, my like Latinos are suffering right now, right? The cooks, like
Yeah.
it's both of our communities. Like there is so much happening right now that I just always like, I mean, like you said, like I have a right, but like I don't have a right to complain. At the end of the day, like I can get over that. Like, yeah, I don't want to do that task. But the fact
Yeah.
that, I have a task and I'm still, I'm getting paid to do that. That's a
Exactly.
privilege. That's something I'm super grateful for. And
Exactly.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes I wish that more people were in sync with that, because I don't like to surround myself with a lot of like just negative or narrow-minded people
Same.
that they think.
Yep.
Sometimes it's inevitable, right? Like sometimes you just have that one friend that's like, I love you, but like, damn, like stop being so negative,
Tone
girl.
it down. Right.
But you think about it, you're just like, all right, like that's not, I don't know, like you don't need to be dwelling in those thoughts, especially when you do have a lot of stuff to be
Mm-hmm.
grateful for,
Right.
we have a
Yep.
lot to be grateful for.
A lot.
Yeah.
So
But I do, before we end, right? Let's give some shout outs, because I know we were mentioned. I'll let you do,
yes, we were mentioned.
but I want to do a shout out
Mhm.
to Karina, because I'm wearing this sweatshirt and she's
Woohoo.
based out of Atlanta. She's from St. Croix,
Yes.
so a fellow Islander. And she just started her own company, which is again so amazing. Like this is the time, guys. Like, if you're listening
Yes.
to this and you want to start like a project or something, like, we're here
Do it.
to support, and we're here to, like, you know what I mean? Just like push you guys, and just, again, like, just support in any way that we can. So she has like some clothes. I had ordered some shorts, and then like she just sent me a sweater and like this really nice t-shirt, and in the back it says like women who cruise. So it's super super cute, and she's super like in tune with like it being eco-friendly, which is something that,
Mm-hmm.
and just super in tune with like wellness as well. So I know I've seen her do like free yoga classes as well. So again, by Austin, and you can follow her, and so yeah, shout out to her. And so
Yes, we'll plug in all her information in
yes.
the description below. So another person that I wanted to shout out was Jenny Penn, and she shouted us out on her personal blog, pensive.co. So she listed us in noteworthy 2020 launches. So we're like super touched that we were, listed among some other companies and projects that were launched in 2020. So I just want to shout out to her for showing us so much love.
Yes. And we also have to shout out one of our other favorite podcasts. I was about to call it Beautiful People Podcast, but
You see?
they rebranded. So let's
Yes.
get it straight.
Yes. The Good Up Podcast. Yes.
Podcast. And so you got to check them out. The girls on that show are amazing, and they're
Hilarious.
and so we were guests on their show. What was it, like a couple weeks ago? So
Yeah.
that episode is called People Suck.
Yes, thanks to Joyce.
as this episode, right? I'm like so like a flower child, like
right.
Be grateful. But yeah, no, at the end of the day, I'm a realist, remember? People suck. So no, go listen to that episode, show them love, subscribe to their podcast.
Yeah, subscribe, like, follow, all that.
Yeah. Amazing. All right. Well, I feel like this was great. I hope this sets some like good vibes and sets the tone for everyone's year. And let us know, you guys, like feel free to like reach out to us or to drop comments on YouTube or on Instagram, on Twitter. Let us know what your intentions are, or like if there's any phrases that have been on your minds that are going to be like, I don't know, your mood for 2021.
Yes. So I think we're going to end it here, guys. So until next time.
Yeah.
We'll see you later. Bye.